morning, Oprah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Oprah.
Thank you, Roxanna. You always know. I am so glad you're here. This is such a gift to have you here. And I know people love it when I start on time because that's what I'm going to do. We've got a few folks who are making their way here, and they'll be here as soon as they can make it in. Hope they come safely. And you would think by now, because I start on time, you would think folks would be here on time, Sue. You would think. But anyway, we'll just move forward and get it done as we always do. All right, I'm so glad you're here. Because you are here, you have the benefit of enjoying our announcements for the morning, all right? Come on up, Sue. Let's do our announcements for the morning. Why don't you start, okay?
Such exciting announcements.
Yes.
Just kidding. So pretty soon we're going to have a July calendar available. So everybody make sure you get a copy of the calendar. I know one big thing in July that's happening is a celebration of the Dalai Lama's birthday. So that's going to be big, and it's going to be here. So we're excited about that. We also have our Monday night meditations every Monday night, 6 o'clock. If you want to meditate, this is the place. Rod, what did I forget?
Maya, why don't you come up and just say a few words about July 7th and the City Council? All right. We'll send it. We'll send you the dates.
And just as we were saying last week, we have a very important city council meeting on July 7th. And the meeting starts at 5. We don't have the agenda out yet, but this will be the meeting where the city council votes on funding for the affordable housing. And this is going to be a really important part of the step. After that, the developer goes and asks for money from the federal tax credit side. But we need local dollars to leverage those 4 times that in federal money. So come on July 7th, we'll have more notices about the exact time, but plan on being there at 5 because we want to make sure we have seats.
And just in case you missed it, we did get approval from the city planning commission. So that hurdle has been jumped.
All right. And you want to say something about the support letters? We're looking for support letters.
Oh, yes, support letters prior to July 7th. Ideally, you'll write a letter and show up on the 7th. Personally, I can't be there because my granddaughter's getting married that day. But I've already written my letter, and it's real easy to do. You just go on the website, nccproject.org, and click on the button that says contact/support, and there's a letter written already. You can add your personal touch if you'd like, or you can just send it as is.
Yeah, and when you go to the website, nccproject.org, you'll see that there's a tool on the page that you can use to easily submit your letters. So it's a very walkable process. It'll take you right through the steps. And you may know some folks who either live here in town or maybe they live nearby, and you think they would be great folks who can submit letters on our behalf. You can also send them to the same webpage, nccproject.org, and they can follow the same instructions to submit their letters, okay? Who in the room has already done their letter? All right, so we got a few already. Great. Okay, if you haven't done your letter yet, you still have time. And because of the holiday, let me suggest that you do it before July 4th. Because of is it the 1st? Okay, do it before July 1st because we want to have time to get them into the city record before July 7th, okay? So again, it's nccproject.org before July 1st, okay?
That means do it by Tuesday.
Yeah, do it as soon as you can, all right? Let's have a hand for Sue Cross, everybody. All right. So as we make our way into our gathering for the morning, I am reminded that we are still in the process of being, I would say, grateful. Grateful for not just the hearts and minds of those in this room, but also for the community of folks that we call our own. Not just our NCC community, but our wider family as well. And what I mean by that more particularly is we here at NCC, we continue to affirm the gift of Pride Month 2026. We are still in the throes of Pride Month, and it was just a gift of mine last week to be able to celebrate that with you because I'm reminded of the bravery of our family, our brothers and sisters, our kindred hearts who make up the LGBTQ plus community. And today we get a chance again to affirm our connection, our solidarity with them, our love for them, our appreciation for their journeys, the bravery they exhibit every day of their lives, and the fact that we are with them in solidarity, that they are not alone, and that we are with them in their boat. And so I want to dedicate our gathering words for the morning in thoughtfulness and love and heartfulness for our family in the LGBTQ+ community. Let's read these words together on the screen as our gathering words for the morning. Let's read. May you be safe. May you be brave. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live in peace, no matter what you are given. And may your heart be filled with love and kindness. Now, before we read the next part, I want to tell you about an interaction I had this week with someone that I think you would appreciate. I was talking to a buddy of mine about our affordable housing project and how exciting I am that we are so very close to getting this thing confirmed. Are you excited? Are you excited? And so I know, I see you, Sue. I see you. And so I was so excited about that and really, really grateful because through all the years that we've gone through this work, we've held together, we've stayed strong, and we are so very close to getting the approvals to move this thing forward. So anyway, talking to my buddy, and he said to me, you remember when you came to this church, almost 10 years ago now, and you said how grateful you were for the fact that this was an open and welcoming and affirming community. And I said, yes, absolutely. It was part of my history of coming to a church from Costa Mesa and now ending up here in Laguna Beach, where we openly and lovingly accept all of our family. And so it was just a gift to be able to speak to my friend to say, so now you're expanding. He said, you're not contracting in a world of contraction, in a world of retrenchment. You're actually expanding your heart to include affordable housing. And I said, yeah, I guess it makes sense. You know, when you're in a place of a big heart like this one, you keep asking yourself, well, what more can we do? What's the next thing that we can accomplish together? How much more bravery can we exhibit together? And I think our housing is a natural next step in that process. And so I'm so grateful that we are in the process. We're moving closer. We're on the journey, and we are bringing so much hope, so much love, so much excitement to folks in our time who need to know that there are folks like ours who do this good work. Do you agree? You agree? Do you agree? So with that in mind, I want you to stand as you are able. Stand up as you are able. And let's read our last words of the morning together. And then we're going to sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Let's read together. May we be safe. May we be brave. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we live in peace no matter what we are given. May our hearts be filled with love and kindness. Let's sing together. Swing low, sweet chariot.
I'm happy to hear about Dalai Lama's birthday, but I already celebrated the Dalai, who is the biggest advocate for gay rights, and that is Dolly Parton. I'm just saying. Here we go. Swing low. Swing low.
right, I want you to stay standing. Oh, wait. Stay standing. Let us walk around and say good morning to each other. Let's take some time and say good morning. Let's do it.
I think it's too far away. I think it's discriminating.
There you are.
It's like people of color
Right.
having to sit in a different section.
Mwah. Okay. I won't. I'll make it happen. But aren't you going to be here next Sunday? Yeah. That's what I have. I have that. Okay. I have it. That's right. I didn't forget. All right. Very good. All right, folks. Let's come back together. Let's come back. All right. Good morning. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Now, if you can hear me, that means you're not talking. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I love singing that, and I love hearing you sing it too. Good morning, Mike.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Glad you're all here. I'm really glad to be here, that's for sure. So, this morning I want to remind you to be thinking about justice for my next presentation about justice. And if you have any input for me, give me a call or an email. So, now, getting on to Wisdom on Seeds by Jennifer Preston is my reading. A beautiful garden was a first thought in a farmer's mind. That farmer worked the land, planted the seeds, watered and nurtured those seeds, and then had to wait. The waiting is the longest part to growing a garden. But does the farmer wait with fear? No. Why? Because the farmer knows that seeds that are planted take time to be rooted and grow. And when left in the soil, they will do what they were created to do at exactly the right time. Our thoughts are like seeds, and we are farmers. So seeds of worry and anxiety, and over time, reap a life that reflects what you have sown. Sow seeds of love, inspiring dreams and ideas. And one day, you will reap those dreams and ideas. But you can't sow both fear and dreams. Fear will become like weeds that entangle your beautiful dreams and cause them to wither and die. You also don't have to wait with worry, because just like flower seeds, whatever you plant, nurture, and tend to will over time produce a harvest. Today, we all need to be vigilant about what we are planting. Amen.
This song seemed appropriate with what he just said. Some of you remember this, that Bette Midler sang it. The film Beaches, way back in '79, written by a fabulous woman by the name of Amanda McBroom. Sing it. Some say love, it's, that's it, that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking, learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember, far beneath the bitter snows lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose. Thank you, Amanda.
Let's say good morning to Roxanna Ward, everybody. It is truly, truly a gift to be with you this morning in our beautiful Bridge Hall. Don't you just love sitting in this room? I do. People ask me all the time, you know, what makes this different than the sanctuary? Well, it's just a different vibe. You get a vibe in there, you get a vibe in here. And I always love to be able to enjoy them both. This morning we get the gift of our Bridge Hall. And I see over me our beautiful tapestry of woodwork and design, and it just brings so much joy to my heart. Really good to see all of you. I want to just take a moment. I know they don't want me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's just send a shout out to our friends over in the Fur Zone, everybody. Let's give them a hand. Good morning, Fur Zone. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. We're grateful for your presence and for your flexibility so that we all can enjoy this community as one. I'm grateful. What a gift, what a gift. Okay, so before we move forward, I just want to take a moment, if I may, and let us center our hearts and prepare for our gathering of words and wisdom together. I want to start with some pouring of the sand. And I'm going to do it a little different practice this time. How we're going to do it this time is you'll see on the table is we have sand for concern, and we have sand for hopes, and we have sand for love. Typically what I do is I'll offer a few words of prayer and then I'll pour the sand. Today I'm going to do a little differently. I'm just going to simply pour the sand. And as I do it, I invite you to manifest in your heart those things for which you have concern, the things for which you have hopes, and those things that remind you of the love that you have for your life. My words will be like yours. I'll pour the sand, and I invite us to manifest that which is in our hearts together. But first, let's have a moment of silence. I invite you to cast aside all the stress and anxiety you brought with you to this room. Lay aside all that concern just for a moment, to begin to bring into your mind what is most pressing in you for this moment. That which concerns you, the things for which you have hope, and what is reminding you of love's great presence for your life. Love just is. It just is. And what's that thing that reminds you that it is so? It is so. It is so. So with that in mind, I first will pour some sand of concern as we sit in silence and send our concerns into the heart of Mother, Father, Spirit. Let's have a moment of silence for all of our concerns as one family, sitting together, holding each other up, being strong for one another. Wherever the power of hope is needed, may it be so as I pour this sand. May the angels come and see about us. May they bring us a sense of peace and possibilities. May the angels of hope darken the hurting parts of our heart. Remind us we're never alone. Come, angels, come. Come right away. Let's hold this moment of silence for the angels of hope. finally, the great, great contagion that is love. Undeniable, unshakable, unbounded, expansive, relentless. We pour in love. And we are grateful for the reminder of its presence in our lives. Where we feel unloved, may we seek after those parts of our lives, our journeys, that make it so. Friends, neighbors, pet companions, mentors, spirits, flowers. Let love live for days like these. Let's have a moment of silence for the coming of love in times like these. All right, thank you. Next slide, Cyrus. Wilma Mankiller. There's a name. Wilma Mankiller, a great legacy, a story of perseverance, courage, hope, and love. Here's a woman who many, many decades ago, 2-3 decades ago, began her work of socialism, activism, and justice in the Bay Area, having represented the Cherokee Nation for her entire life in various leadership roles as a staunch advocate for justice and inclusion, hope in her life and for her communities, right? Here's someone who not just took the time to make sure that the food was provided or that the water was running or that the needs were met or that the shelter was provided, but who was also a constant face of a story, a journey, a legacy of real courage, real strength, the Cherokee Nation itself. A great mirror, a mirror back to America about its past, but also its promise. She took the time to call out the ills, to call out the problems, while also calling us back as a nation to our best selves, who and what we can be as a nation of freedom, justice, and love. She did both. She wasn't an either-or leader. She was a both-and kind of leader. And I love her name because the idea of taking down the giants of our lives, the hegemonic spirits that control our souls, she was able to speak out and speak open and forcefully against that because she knew as you tear down those walls, you are opening the door to that being your best self. When you clear away the noise, you find the heart of who you can be, not just as a nation, but as a people, as a community, as an individual. She was also the first woman to be elected the chief of the Cherokee Nation. And when she was interviewed about her role, the interviewer asked her, "How is it that you persevered? How does that happen? Why is that? How does it come to be? Tell us," I guess, the ingredient. Now, she gave a long answer, which I don't have enough time to read to you, but she called out a portion of it that I thought was so powerful. I want to show it to you now. Cows run away from the storm, while the buffalo charges toward it and gets through it quicker. Whenever I'm confronted with a tough challenge, I do not prolong the torment. I become the buffalo. You know, it sounded so good, I read it twice. Cows run away from the storm while the buffalo charges toward it and gets through it quicker. Whenever I'm confronted with a tough challenge, I do not prolong the torment. I become the buffalo. Let's leave that there for a moment. Eli, thank you. What's powerful about her words, among other things, is that I learned while reading this interview that here is someone who understood that every day she woke up, every day she breathed, every day she lived, it was an invitation to do better than she did the day before. She never saw her journey as a step towards finality. It was an open book. It was a story being written. And however yesterday went, whatever went about the time before, or the month before, or the year before, or the year before, every day of breathing is like a new gift to reclaim, a new gift to renew, a new gift to release, a new gift to retry, a new gift to reconnect. And that's how she became, in many ways, the first woman chief of the Cherokee Nation. That story of perseverance. It became like an everyday song. And of course, as I read her words, I was thinking about the power of the gardening of our lives. See, Mike read the words. We are all gardeners, just like Wilma Mankiller. We are all gardeners. Now, I'm not talking about in the sense of you going to school and getting a degree. You might do that. You just might do that. But I'm talking about something a little deeper than that. The fact that every day we live, we are all gardeners and tending nurturers to the garden of our souls. I mean, let me put it differently. I know there's a lot of stuff happening right now in the world. There's a lot of noise, a lot of things pulling at us. I get that. But the last time I checked, we have a lot to do with what we take in, what we push out, what we allow to impact us, what we don't allow to impact us, what we take lessons from, what we put to the side, what we learn from, what we call pointless. We get to make those kinds of decisions. We get to make those value judgments. Because that is true, we are just like the gardener, choosing what parts of the flowers will remain, what aspects will get weeded out, what portions will get pruned, which ones remain in whole, which ones get removed and uprooted entirely. Yeah, we decide. I count it an amazing privilege from Spirit that we get to be responsible for our own personal weeding. To me, I think that's amazing. I think it's truly remarkable that Creator Spirit thought enough of us to give us the power and the agency to be our own gardeners. That's amazing. Think about that. Creator love felt that there was enough strength, courage, and wisdom in all of us to tend to our own gardens of our souls. That's amazing. No one's legislated it. No one can negotiate with that. It can't be changed. It's immutable. That's a powerful statement of affirmation that Creator looked at us and said, you got everything you need to save yourself. Whoa! I think sometimes we forget to look in the mirror and realize just how special we are. I don't mean special in the exceptional sense. I don't mean special in the American hegemonic sense. I mean special in the individual, spirit-led, creator-infused sense. We are jewels. We are gifts in life. We are breathing miracles. We are gardeners. And so when I think about this idea of tending to our goals and nurturing of our souls and allowing seeds to sprout and be really, really amazingly realized in our lives, wow, I look at that responsibility and I say, how am I tending to the seeds of my life? In other words, if we're going to be about the process of the gardening, then we got to be also about the process of the weeding. When I think about the seeds and the flowers, we love those parts. We love it when it's beautiful. We love it when it's properly dispensed. We love it when it's got the right contours and the right frames and the right shapes and the right sizes. We love being in the garden when things are perfectly, wonderfully laid out. But there's something about the reality of being our own gardeners. There's something about being in partnership with the great gardener. There's something about being a part of this process of co-creating life itself. Because as we look at those flowers, there's also another truth that is right before us. Just like Wilma Mankiller, there she is, watering and nurturing the waters of her own people, watering the nation, the Cherokee Nation, doing the work of justice and love, and at the same time calling them back to their best selves. That only happens when you are both looking at the flower and you're constantly being vigilant, you're constantly being aware, you're constantly being mindful of the fact that those weeds are lurking just around the corner. And anyone who knows about gardening, you know what I'm talking about. Any of my gardeners here in the morning, you know exactly what I mean. Because what may be looking pleasant and beautiful to the eye sometimes misses what is happening also at the exact same time. Because while those flowers are sprouting, while that beauty is manifesting, those weeds are lurking just behind the corner. What maybe looked like real wheat is actually false wheat. And it's a weed that needs to be removed. Now, I got to admit to you, when I was learning about seeds back in the day, I misinterpreted those lessons. I was naive, and I didn't get it at the time, Eli, but I've learned a little bit now over the years. Yeah. And I've come to some deeper understandings about this thing. If I'm going to be a real gardener, I got to disabuse myself of the notion that there are never going to be any weeds. I see some heads nodding. Someone knows what I'm talking about. See, when I grew up back in the day, it was you either have seeds of flowers or you have weeds. See, when I was doing my thing back in the day, it was a either or kind of thinking. You couldn't have both, Greg. Oh, that's not right. It's either one or the other, right, Sue? I see you. But what I've learned over the years is that actually, when you're doing the real work and tending to the garden of your soul, you will have both. You do have both. You'll always have both. Somebody knows what I'm talking about this morning. So let us be clear, first of all, that before I say anything else, you got flowers and you got weeds. Even if you can't see the weed, even if you're not aware of the weed, even if you can't even fully understand or appreciate the weed and its presence in your life, maybe you might hear something today that just might help you connect with the reality that, whoa, I got a weed too. So let's talk about weeds. If you've ever had a belief or an idea in your life that you held so strongly to, but then you performed some kind of action or deed that was absolutely in contradiction with that life or with that belief or with that idea, maybe you got a weed that you haven't dealt with. Are you so focused on perfectionism that you're missing the journey of life itself? You're so interested in getting it right all the time that you're missing the joy and the whimsical nature of just living and being itself. The hustle and bustle of doing clouds out the gift of being. If that's who you are, there might be a weed that needs to be removed. Are you in competition with someone? Someone in your life, maybe your friendship circle or a family member, someone that you've known for years, that everything they do, you decide that you got to do it differently. You got to do it more. You got to do 200% more than they did yesterday because you're in this perpetual competition with this person, which is causing you from being your best self, causing you from being your best heart, causing you from being your best human because you're so focused on what that person is doing and how you can do it better. If that's you, you might have a weed that needs to be uprooted. Is there an aspect of your life that is so weeded from your past that every time you think about it, it stops you in your tracks? You're unable to move forward because of that thing, whatever that thing is. Maybe somebody said something, or you did it yourself, or it was placed on you by somebody else, and you believed it. And you've lived by it your whole life, which has quenched your entire spirit of joy and living and love. You've allowed that weed to grow in the garden of your soul, and there's no room for anything else. If that's you, there's some weeding that needs to be done. Are you at a place now that as you sleep at night, you find it difficult to focus on the moment, the breathing, the being, the meditation, the mindfulness? It's difficult to do because whenever you go there, you think about that aspect of your life that you haven't reconciled with. Maybe a person, maybe a place, an experience. You haven't reconciled with it, so it's difficult for you to sleep. You ignore it as if it's not there. You cast it off to the side as if it can just be absconded. But you and I both know that's not how this thing works. The more you push it away, the bigger and bigger it comes back every time. And it spoils your sleep. It takes away your breath. It takes away your being. It takes away your ability to be your best self. If that's who you are, you've got a weed that needs to be removed. Have you allowed the weed of pride to overtake your life? Where no matter how help comes your way, no matter how big or small or in between that help might be, you don't accept it. You won't accept it. You find it difficult to accept help. It sounds nice, but it doesn't feel good to say I need it. I need help. But I won't accept it. Why is that? How can that be? If that's you, you might have a weed that needs to be removed. Is your idea of spirituality limited and exclusive, when in fact it should be broad and inclusive? The bread of life should be life-giving and love-bearing, not something to be ignored or thrown out. If your idea of spirituality looks like this and not like this, maybe, just maybe, a weed needs to be removed. Do you have a dream for your life? That thing that you've been trying to put your heart and your energy into for 20, 30, 35, 40 years, 50 years, and here you are all these years later still telling yourself, you know, it would be nice if I could just do that one thing. It would be really cool if I actually did that. But it's been 50 years and I'm still saying that. I'm still saying it. Why is that? What story? What experience? What circumstance? What past story have you allowed to quench your very story? Maybe you got a weed that should be removed. And I can't take this moment without saying to America, are you aware of the weeds of racism and discrimination and hopelessness and greed that have quenched the very story of the American promise? Have you allowed the very story and history of this nation to cloud your ability to see that when we are at our best, we are soaring and we become the angel of love to this very world? Are you aware of that, America? Have you lost your way? Can you get it back? I believe you can. But first you got to recognize the weed that should be uprooted. Has America allowed the ills of greed to overtake its promise? We are dangerously, perilously dancing on that balance. And if we don't stop, if we don't wake up, if we don't gain that courage, we will lose ourselves as a nation, and that weed will overtake our flower. So many weeds to name. The list goes on and on. But see, here's the thing. I ask myself, how is it that weed, those weeds, how am I able to call those out? How am I able to identify with them? Well, it's because at one point or another in my life, I've dealt with those weeds. Maybe you have too. None of us are immune to the list that I've just proposed, or even the ones that you can propose on your own. Each of us, in one way or another, deals with that dance between those flowers and those weeds in the gardens of our soul. But here's the beautiful thing. Once we acknowledge that won't change, once we acknowledge that the garden itself has the promise and the opportunity to do better, to live better, to work together better, to be a stronger nation together, then we can talk about the real stuff, the real steps, the real solutions, the real changes, the real personal journey, the real national journey that we can go on together to being better people, better humans, better Americans, a better nation to this wider world. I am only saying this because as we get over the hump, as we get over the stumbling block, we can actually say, okay, I've got weeds, I've got flowers, and now let's do the real work of acknowledging them and uprooting the ones that no longer work. Weeding. Weeding is not something in and of itself to be upset about. Weeding is an invitation because we realize that when we remove that particular weed, it makes room for more life. It makes room for more possibility. It makes room for greater solutions. It makes room for more unity. It makes room for more personal satisfaction. It makes room for heartfulness and healthy living. What I'm saying is, I'm only inviting you to do what the gardener would naturally do. Do the weeding so that the garden of your soul can soar. Do the weeding so that you can find those aspects of yourself that you didn't even realize you had before. Do the weeding so you can become a better human being, not just for yourself, but for your family and those you hold dear. Do the weeding so that when you sit in your meetings, or you do your phone calls, or you talk to your family members, or you talk to your neighbors or your friends, they see something about you that has changed. You no longer have this weight. You no longer have this spirit on you. You no longer have this thing that's been following you all these decades. They look at you and they say, wow, you've changed. I don't know how it is. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you got rid of. I don't know what you weeded out, but you did good. I want the same thing you got. What do you got? I'll put it differently. When you do the weeding, people notice. I'll notice. I think you will too. And so the idea of the weeding, it comes back like a question that echoes into the garden of our souls. And the invitation is simple, very simple. When you leave here today, when you drive home or walk to your next destination, before you go to sleep tonight, ask yourself, is there one aspect of my life, one weed that needs to be uprooted? What's one weed that you can remove starting today? What's the process that you can begin from this moment on that your life is forever changed? The weed gets removed. The weed gets acknowledged, and the work begins. When you acknowledge that weed, when you identify it for what it is, when you decide to face it and not to walk around it, then you can start the process of pulling and pulling some more and pulling harder yet still and pulling some more and let yourself do the work and go on the journey to your best self, removing that weed and allowing flowers of hope, love, and peace and joy to sprout in its place. And when the next weed comes, start over. When the next weed shows up, pull again. When the next weed shows its face, do the work all over again. Why? Because every day is an invitation, and every day is a harvest day. Pull harder still. There is work to be done. There are roots to uproot. And so it is.
I invite you to sing along on this. It's my favorite, one of my all-time favorite hymns, written by Clara H. Scott in 1895. Open my eyes. Open my eyes that I may see. That shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee. Open my eyes, illumine. Open my ears. May hear. Sorry. Did we get the right one? Open my mouth and let me. Is that it? It's the third verse. That's why, and I'm reading the second. This goes right from your eyes to your mouth. I think listening is very important too. But let's go to the mouth. Here we go. Open my mouth. You know this. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright. I think I can make it now. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Bridge! I'm sorry, my fault. You've got it, you've got it. You know what happened? I've got two versions. Hold on a second. I just have to tell you. I felt like I was losing my mind. I have two versions that have been put together, and they're in two different keys. I need to go to my garden. There it is. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. Here we go. I can see clearly. I can see clearly now the rain has. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Say it again. It's gonna be a bright. One more time. It's gonna be a. I thought I had lost my mind.
I'll join you in the garden, Roxanna. I'll be there with you.
Talking about
What
weed.
what a gift. What a gift. What a gift. What a gift. I'm grateful that we get to have this day together and the joy of this moment. Okay, let us take our offering for the morning. We did it already? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Come on up. Come on.
This was out on the laptop. Did anybody lose a necklace?
Anyone lose a necklace? Okay, we'll hold it. We'll hold it. Okay. Let us take a moment. We've done the offering, which is great. I want to just make a couple of announcements. Let's go to the next slide, Cyrus. Oh, Eli, sorry. I keep doing that. I don't know why I keep doing that. But I love you dearly. You know that.
You got to go weeding. You need
Yeah, I
to
know.
weed. Got
I
to
know,
do
right?
some weeding.
Yes, exactly.
I can see it coming out of your head.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. All right. So what I want to do real quickly, I want to ask Sally and Lisa to come on up. Let's take a moment to affirm. Oh, you're not feeling? Okay, no worries. Susan, Sally, come on up. Let us do our affirmation together. The words, from you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. This will be our affirmation for the morning, that each of us will follow this journey of weeding together. As we do the work, we realize we're not the only ones. You're sitting in a room of love, that each of us have that same invitation to do the same process that the gardener takes, that the gardener will take. And we'll say, from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Would you show them how to do it, and then we'll do it together? Okay, let's do it. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Let's do it again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. One more time. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that in mind, I invite you to take the time to think about your own particular weed. Okay? I don't need to know what it is. It's for you to know for yourself. And to then think about a process of peace, a solution for your life. And if you decide that you want to talk to someone about it, yes, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to a neighbor, a loved one, a therapist, whoever. Begin the process of the weeding in your life that will begin to unlock in you your authentic self, your best self, the self you were created to be. Work on that and give yourself the permission to work at it every day and to be in partnership with those who will build you up, not tear you down. To be linked up with those who will support you, not criticize you. Those who will put energy into your life, not steal your joy. Those who will cheerlead you, not tell you to stop. And those who will be with you when the weed comes back, who will encourage you to start the process all over again. I know you can do it. I'm giving you permission to do it. And I'm giving you that permission today. May it be so. And so it is. All right. We have a congregational meeting coming up at 11:30 for members of NCC. If you are a member of NCC, please hang around for our meeting, which will start promptly at 11:30 a.m. We will start on time, so I want to make sure you have time to have some food and drink, say hello to friends, say hello to the folks in the room, take time to get a restroom break, whatever you need, and we're going to begin at 11:30 sharp right here in Bridge Hall. All right? If you are not a member of NCC, but you want to have a conversation about that, talk to me. All right? We're not exclusive. We want to broaden our boat. We want to include folks in our family. So if you want to have a conversation with me, have that conversation. Not today, because I got a meeting. But find me after today, and let's have a conversation about membership at NCC. All right? And then finally, Sue Cross coming up here. Let's talk about next week. I want to make sure that you are aware of what we're doing next week, because we want to invite your help as part of this process. Sue, why don't you start?
What are we doing next week?
We're going to do the freedom and the democracy. Remember your idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're coming up on our 250th anniversary of our democracy. So we thought it would be a great idea if everybody would email Rod
Or you.
and me and say all the reasons you can think of at the spur of the moment why democracy matters. And we're going to edit the list down to 250 reasons that democracy matters.
Yes, I love this idea. So between now and Wednesday, why don't we say Wednesday, because we
Okay.
need time to edit.
Okay.
Send us between now and Wednesday as many reasons as you can. It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 25, right? Send us as many reasons as you can think of why democracy and freedom are beautiful things, all right? We're going to take all of those and put them into a list that we share, not just internally, but we're going to share with the wider community as well. So put all of your reasons into a list, why democracy, why freedom, why they matter, and then we're going to put together a list. And then what I want to do next week is we'll have a moment to affirm and share those reasons together. We'll put together a kind of a smaller kind of truncated list. But we'll have a moment next week where we can share some of those reasons. And then what I want to do after that is I want to encourage all of us to share them with our friends, our neighbors, so we'll get it nicely put together for you so that we can have it as something that we share with the wider world. Why we love democracy, why we love freedom. These things matter at a time like this. Yes? These things matter because our country is turning 250 years old and we're in a perilous spot. We've got a lot of weeds in America that need to be uprooted. We all know this. And so I think for me right now, one of the best important things we can do is be clear in ourselves why we love being Americans, why democracy matters, why freedom matters, and then we share those out with the wider world. So take this week, send me those reasons, put them in an email, send them my way. All right? Anything you want to add?
That's it.
Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Let's take a moment. We're going to sing one more song, and then we're going to have
Rod,
some food and drink.
Do you think we have time for this? Because
I think we
you
do.
have like 10 minutes for
I think
people.
we do. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to sing one more song with you, and then we'll have some food
Let's
and drink.
talk some
It's
more.
called True Colors. All right? Why don't you stand as you are able? Let's sing True Colors.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, don't you realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. Darkness inside you makes you, but I see your true colors shining through. See your that's why I love you, to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. I see your smile then, and don't be unhappy. I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy, taking all you can bear, call me up. Everybody, oh, I see your and that's why I love you. True colors, true colors. Go get your food. I see your true colors.
Okay. Thank you. I will. I'm looking at the dates. I think I might be out of town, but I'll look. I think I might be out of town, but I'll check. I will.